All righty. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and your name and your job?
Sure. My name's Emily Wilkinson. I am a Cedar Rapids native. I live in Cedar Rapids currently. We lived out of state for a handful of years, but back home. I am a compliance manager in banking by trade. I work for US Bank. Um, and I am mom to three little kiddos, and we have a dog. So that's kind of my little, in summary.
Awesome. That kind of leads into the next question I had. So let's go into, I guess you kind of answered it, your current hometown where you live now and kind of where you grew up.
Yep. So I grew up in Cedar Rapids. I then went to University of Iowa. I'm an Iowa alum. And then after graduating, I got married, and my husband and I moved to Chicago for a couple of years. We moved from there to Denver for a handful of years. I was a compliance examiner at that point in time. So I was traveling a lot for work. And then we had our first two kiddos born out in Denver, and then we moved home. It's been almost 8 years ago. So I've been back in Cedar Rapids ever since.
Awesome. All righty. Now into the fun stuff. What is your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday would have to be Christmas. I love giving gifts and surprising people with fun things, and I love spending a lot of time with family.
Awesome. Favorite sport? Do you have one?
My favorite sport to do would be running. Even though it's kind of a love-hate. But then my favorite sports to watch, I love watching Hawkeyes play football. I love watching the Cubs play baseball, but I engage better when I'm in person seeing those. I don't tend to sit still at watching on TV very well.
Absolutely. What is one interesting fact about yourself?
One interesting fact about me. I always feel like there's really nothing that's interesting. I guess if I'm tying something to LLS, I think that's the easiest way. I've always enjoyed doing philanthropic things. So this is just kind of a fun new, bigger campaign than the kinds of things I've done before. But I've done I did Avon Walk for Breast Cancer years ago, where you walk a marathon and a half in a day, in 2 days, and other things like that. So I tend to be someone who will engage in things that seem a little crazy to others. That's definitely a norm for me.
Awesome. What is your favorite vacation or your dream vacation that you maybe want to go on in the future?
Sure. True vacation, like relaxing vacation, it would be a beach. So like all-inclusive resort kind of thing is totally my jam.
Awesome. What is something that you've been doing during this quarantine, whether it's binging a book, podcast, TV show? How are you keeping busy?
Sure. Well, I work, like I said, I do work full time. I'm traditionally home-based, but I don't usually have minors around. I don't usually have small coworkers, and I don't usually have my husband also working from home. So trying to work full time, trying to parent my children and educate them some and keep them engaged. And then with this LLS campaign, pretty much scratching everything I had planned. Everything I planned was in person. I would say times at a negative. I've seen very little television. I have not touched a book unless it's one of my kids' books. Just trying to get through each day with wishing I had more hours. So,
yep. So that kind of leads into the whole quarantine thing. What's the first thing you're going to do when this is all over?
Have a quiet house. Except I don't know how that's going to happen. So it'll be summer break, hopefully. When this is all over, see friends and family.
Yeah.
My parents are, but we've not seen them any closer than 6 feet. That's hard. So
yeah. So you kind of touched on it earlier, but why LLS? Why'd you get involved?
Why I got involved. So my niece was diagnosed with lymphoma last year. So in 2019 in June, and she was only 11 years old at the time. It was the first time anybody really close to me, especially young, was impacted by cancer like that. And if I haven't already kind of made it obvious, I'm a busy person. I don't like to sit idly by. And when she was diagnosed, I really struggled not being able to do anything to help. My older sister and I are close, and it's her daughter, her first. So she's also the first niece or nephew born. So she was kind of like that one before I had my own kids. Mm-hmm. So she's always held a special place for me anyway. And so I really struggled not being able to do anything to help her. So in the meantime, I actually did a fundraiser last year in honor of her. They were fortunate to not have any real need other than support and care, and had a lot of family and friends all over the country sending all kinds of great activities and things to occupy her. She spent the majority of her months in the hospital. Um, and so while that was going on, I took one of her art. She's an artist, and I took a drawing that she had made that she didn't know I got a hold of, and I had it made into a t-shirt. That then was the launch of a big fundraiser. We raised almost $8,000 in a handful of months selling this t-shirt and mug design, that funded a huge custom mural in her children's hospital. That has, the idea was very whimsical, trying to help kids see outside the hospital and dream big, dream for their make-a-wish. So it was active, animals being active, and it was her favorite animals, and it was her warrior unicorn pandas in the drawing. And I was actually just looking around to see if I have the warrior unicorn panda next to me. Usually I do. This is unusual. But it's also the basis then of my team name for LLS this time around, is the Impossibly Strong, because the shirt said impossibly strong like a warrior unicorn panda. So we did that. We funded a large donation in her name then to LLS, as well as we sent the week of right around her 12th birthday, we sent $1,200 worth of arts and craft supplies and games and toys for the kids in her unit, specifically to help engage them, since they can't really share things either.
Awesome.
Being high risk. So it felt good to do something. It felt good to make an impact, and to know that her, she got to share something beautiful going forward. The hospital they had the mural installed in the fall, and I got to see that when we went down to Texas and at Christmas time. So that was really cool. And then a friend actually, right after Light the Night, said, "You should do this." And it hadn't been on my radar to do the Man or Woman of the Year, but when she suggested it, her mom has leukemia, and I don't remember the specific diagnosis, but one that is incurable. And I said, okay, I can't say no to that. So that's why I'm here.
Awesome. Well, we've gotten to know a lot about you. Is there any other things that you want people to know about you for your campaign?
I think right now, especially as we're really just trying to get as creative as we can and engage any and everybody we can in any way we can, and asking those who maybe can't give to share. I'm doing this because I saw what my niece went through. I'm doing this because my family has lost friends to blood cancer, and I have friends whose family are living with or recovered, or eventually there will be more who face it. I'm not doing this just for fun, by all means, while we're all quarantined and time is at especially a premium. My kids are 10, 8, and 3. So I would be plenty busy, but I'm doing this for them. And I hope people will engage and share and support in any way they can.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.